Hi everyone, welcome to the muster drill. I'm Scott, and Carnival is really upsetting a lot of unvaccinated people. Hi everyone, welcome back. So, Carnival has been doing this vaccine exemption since they began sailing in early July. The way it goes is you book your cruise, you log into your planner, and you answer some vaccine question about whether you're going to be vaccinated or are vaccinated, or if you're not. And if you're not, it loads a exemption form which you fill out and submit and wait to see if Carnival is going to grant you the exemption or not. In the middle of August, the Bahamas joined the U.S. Virgin Islands in requiring everybody be vaccinated or they can't even be on the ship. So when I sailed on the Carnival Mardi Gras, one of our stops was in Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico required that the unvaccinated remain on the ship. They weren't allowed off the ship. I don't even think they were allowed off the ship on like a bubble tour either. I mean, they had to stay on the ship. That's very different than what the Bahamas and the U.S. Virgin Islands is doing. They're basically saying if you're not vaccinated, you can't be on the ship. So most of these exemption forms were going to children who were 5 to 11 years old because, 5 to 11-year-olds couldn't get vaccinated. Now Carnival is sending out these messages to people who are booked on sailings basically through the remainder of the year. Now, I don't know if this goes to any of the sailings from, like, say, January 1st to the 15th, which is when the CSO is, basically goes away and is no longer in effect. But that won't change the rules from the Bahamas and the Virgin Islands, whether the CSO is, in force or not. So basically, Carnival is sending these messages out to these people revoking their exemptions. I'm going to throw a message up here, a screenshot of part of the message that Carnival is sending to these people, where they're basically saying it's a personal decision if you have your child vaccinated, but you should probably make that personal decision yes, and get your child vaccinated if you plan or really want to ensure that you're going to be able to sail in the upcoming holiday cruise. Obviously, this is upsetting a lot of people, and a lot of people are, talking about this everywhere they can talk about it. Now, there are a couple of sailings that are not affected by this. I think like the Carnival Parade in October from Baltimore, and I think the Glory from New Orleans and the Miracle from LA. But those are just like an October and November sailings, and then beyond that, it won't be an issue because, again, 5 to 11-year-olds can get vaccinated now. And from those ports, you're not dealing with the Florida, can't ask you. I think even from Florida, you're not really dealing with that issue because it all comes down to the Bahamas and the Virgin Islands, who are requiring people be vaccinated. And the exemptions before were going to adults who, I guess, had some medical, reason without really needing to prove it. Part of this messaging now from Carnival is if you are requesting an exemption, you're going to have a actual letter from a real doctor specifically spelling out why you cannot be vaccinated and then you'll probably get the exemption. But again, it's going to have to go through that whole exemption process. So I'm really curious, what do you think about this? I mean, it's really making cruising, it's taking that prerequisite to get on a cruise, which is vaccine. The children who were 5 to 11 were not able to do it. So it was a pretty open and shut kind of thing. Now, they only had so many slots for those children. So if they had an exceptionally large number of 5 to 11-year-olds prior to, this kind of new situation where, now 5 to 11-year-olds can get vaccinated, they only had so many slots. But I think that, I didn't hear of anybody being told, we ran out of slots on that. But now it's not the case. So now they're basically saying, hey, it's a personal decision, but you probably need to say yes to it and get your kid vaccinated if you plan on being on the ship, because otherwise you're not getting on the ship. We're not giving you an exemption for a 5 to 11-year-old just simply because you say, I'm not getting my kid vaccinated. They're like, fine, don't get your kid vaccinated, but then you're not coming on our ship either. So yeah, so I'd be really curious, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll have a discussion about it. Situation like this just reminds me of my own personal experiences since I've been cruising, since I've been back to cruising myself. It reminds me of this conversation we had in the elevator when we were in Amber Cove on the Carnival Horizon. This, was me and my wife and another couple and a woman. And the woman from the couple, she had mentioned that they found it difficult to breathe in Amber Cove. It was like 92 degrees that day. It was humid. She found it difficult to breathe in her mask. There were these signs when you got off the ship that said, the Dominican Republic government wanted you to wear the mask. So I guess some people were wearing a mask. I didn't wear my mask. Everywhere I walked around in the port, I didn't have my mask on, and nobody said anything to me about it. This woman had mentioned that she found it difficult to breathe, and we empathized with her about it. And this other woman that was in the elevator, she had her mask in her hand. There's signs in every elevator that say mask up. There's signs at the entrance of every venue on the ship that says mask up. She had her mask in her hand. She didn't have it on. And she spoke up and she said, if you're vaccinated and you have a negative COVID test, I don't know what the big deal is about the mask. I don't know why you still have to wear the mask. I've said this before. I don't care if people wear the mask or not. I was going to speak up. I thought about it for a moment. I wasn't going to say anything to her, obviously, about not wearing her mask. I was going to answer her question, or I was going to talk to her about what she had said, which was the reason why you have to wear the mask, even though you're vaccinated and you're tested negative before you got on the ship, is, one, we're getting off the ship in places. Two, you can spread COVID whether you're vaccinated or not. I saw more people on this Horizon cruise than I did on the Pride and I did on the Mardi Gras not complying with the mask rule. Again, I don't care. I notice people not wearing the mask, but I don't obsess over it. It doesn't piss me off one way or the other. It doesn't upset me one way or the other, and I don't care about it. But I do notice it, and I was going to answer her question. But somebody who's in the elevator with the sign right there that says, wear the mask, and they're not wearing the mask, further speaking up and making a statement such as she made, she's not going to want to hear what I have to say anyway. And I'm not even sure if it, I'm certainly not sure how the conversation is going to go. I don't know if it's going to turn into an argument or not. I definitely don't want it to turn into an argument. And nothing I say to her is going to change the outcome of the situation. So I just didn't say a word to her about it. I empathize with parents who, just want to take their kids on a vacation, and especially these people who may have already had these exemptions, and now suddenly Carnival is, revoking them, yanking them back and saying, oh, no, wait, now you don't. And if, so now you can't go on your cruise. We're canceling your exemption. And now if you want to go on your cruise, you know, it's your personal decision if you get your kid vaccinated or not, but if you want them to go on the cruise, if you still want to go on the cruise, you're going to have to do it. And a lot of parents are going to see that as the cruise lines kind of forcing their hands. I think that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in. And if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. And then don't forget to click the subscribe button. It won't cost you anything. You click it once and you're done, and it'll really help us out a lot. And then don't forget to click that notification bell so that you know every time we upload a new video. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.